Hello and welcome. In this video I'm going to be showing you how to take off and land in the A-4E. Right, before we do, need to set up the aircraft before rolling, so we're not going to need the gun sights. We'll turn that off. We'll zero the barometric altimeter so that we are AGL on Cobaleti, which is the base we're at the moment. We're going to want to set the flaps to half. We're going to set the spoiler arm to arm, obviously. This is so that if there's an emergency on takeoff, we have extra surfaces to slow us down. If you see on the external view, the top surfaces of the flaps are up, but as soon as I apply any throttle, that surface drops down, becomes smooth, and we're clean and we can do our takeoff run. But as soon as we pull back on the throttle, that'll open up again, helping us to slow down. So that's what that is for. We're going to want to trim between 6 and 8 degrees, depending on weight. We're not carrying anything today, so I'm going to trim to 6 degrees. And I think that is about it. Yeah. So spoiler arm check, flaps takeoff check, trim check, all good. Right, so we'll apply the brakes and then we'll spool up, and as soon as the plane starts to push against the tyres, we shall let go the brakes and start our run, and we should hopefully lift off between 120 and 150 knots. At which point we'll lift the gear at 150 knots, we'll raise the flaps, and then we'll turn the spoiler arm off, and then proceed to our next course of action. Just another thing, I'm going to arm the TACAN for ILS for Cobaleti. This isn't necessary, but I like to have one. I like to have it for just as a general practice. Obviously, keeping that in field of view. Obviously, there's only so much you can do with Mark 1 eyeball, and this is a bit more accurate from longer out. So that's just a reference for me. So yeah, let's get rolling. So we'll throttle up. Okay, and pushing against the tyres. Let's go. So we're at 120, 150. Okay, and we're up. Gear up. Flaps up. And we are going to want to take the spoiler arm off, and we're going to want to trim out now. Hi, sorry to interrupt you, but just quickly, if you're ever in airfield in DCS, and this should go across the board no matter which terrain you're using, if you're wanting to know which way the circuits go at an airfield, what the circuit height is, the approach heights, which way you're supposed to come in from, things like that, I'll cover this more in depth in another video, but just quickly, if you go into your main DCS setup, go into docs, charts, and if I've chosen the DCS VAD charts FC3, and it'll actually bring out charts for everything that's in the Caucasus terrain. So you've got your Georgia airfields and your Russian airfields, everything about that, all the legends for the charts. But the first one, where I was at, Cobaleti, it shows you here that if you're using 2.5.0, you're doing a left-hand circuit. If you're on 07, you do a right-hand circuit. So what I'm about to show you in the video is incorrect, because I take a left-hand circuit on 07, and obviously there's your circuit height. So yeah, if you're ever wondering, there's your arrival and departure maximums, 2,000 feet. Now obviously if you're approaching 07, you're coming in from 170 or 354 onto the initial, and the same for 250. It's brilliant because if you learn how to read these, you can get more out of the sim. I mean, you don't have to be hardcore, but at least you'll know the procedures. But yeah, this is for Georgia. I'm pretty sure these are the ground charts for parking spaces for each aerodrome or airbase, or whatever you want to call them, where they're situated, the tower frequencies, TACANs, everything. Again, there's your Georgia airfields, your Russian airfields. Where are we here? So there we go, Kobaleti. Tells you all the parking spots, everything that you need to know, the aprons, elevation of the airfield, everything. So it's good if you go in and study those as well. I mean, it's not like someone's pointing a gun to your head and you have to learn them to use DCS, but like I say, it always helps. But anyway, I thought I'd point that out. Just so that you've got somewhere to go if you didn't realise the charts actually came with the sim. That's where they're situated, in your main DCS setup. Then go into docs, back into charts. So yeah, go and give those a look. Always a big help. Anyway, back to me. Okay, so we want to be at around about 1,500 feet really. That's the usual altitude for a pattern at an airfield. We're still climbing too high. This thing lifts off like a rocket. Right, so we're going to throttle back. This is where we'd normally communicate with the tower to let them know we're downwind. We get clearance for an option, touch and go, or a full stop landing. We'll continue on down the line, trim out, keeping it around about 225 knots, or there and thereabouts. We're out of the ILS catchment zone, so hopefully we'll get back into that shortly. So we're going to extend the downwind. And then we'll turn on our base leg. Base leg it is. Try not to speed up or climb it as we do it. Right. Okay, and decelerate. Putting the speed brakes out. Gear down, and we're going to want a half flap. Okay. Now we're going to trim out. It's a very busy aircraft, always something to do. on finals, flaps all the way down. Okay. Just riding it in now. Let the aircraft do the work. Over the threshold, throttle back. And down. A bit heavy, but we're down all the same. And we can now close the spoilers, apply the wheel brakes, and make our way down to the next taxi point. And that's landing in the A4. It's a bit erratic. It went a lot quicker in my mind than I thought it would, but hopefully that's been of some help to some people, especially the numbers. If you're a numbers person, like to try and get it bang on every time. So yeah, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.